Like weary boxers who have gone the distance, the combatants collide in one last explosive effort. In the years to come, a few witnesses will tell of the power of these final punches, that they could literally feel the shockwaves. Others will remember the enormous crater that result from the sheer force of the blows, but most will remember this sad day. As the day the proudest, most noble man they ever knew finally fell, for those who loved him, one who would call him husband, one who would be his pal, or those who would call him son. This is the darkest day they could have ever imagined. They raised him to be a hero, to know the value of sacrifice, to know the value of life. And for those who served with the Superman, in the protection of all life comes the shock of failure, the weight of being too late to help. But it will. For a city to live, a man had given his all and more. But it's too late, for this is the day a Superman died. Or at least in this case, a 5-minute fight and dropping Doomsday down a hole. And that was majorly disappointing. So anyway, Smallville Season 8. So Smallville Season 8, is it better than Season 7? Well, let's just say it sticks with one villain this time, and that I can give a whole lot of credit for. And for this season, Lex Luthor is gone. He just disappeared after the whole stuff that happened in Season 7. He is now gone. He disappeared. Everyone doesn't know where he is. And now his company is being run by this really, really hot red-headed woman that I can't think of her name off the top of my head. And she's a whole lot nicer than what Lex Luthor is. She's a tough girl, and she gets under people's skin, of course, but it's just not Michael Rosenbaum. It's just not the Lex Luthor that we've been growing up with for like 7 seasons. So it just feels like something has been torn out and everything. All such. But also what the season does focus on is something that I did actually like, was the continuing growth between the relationship of Clark and Lois Lane. I mean, Clark and Lois Lane have a very interesting relationship when it comes to this show. At the very beginning, they don't exactly start off as lovers. They more or less just start off as people that bicker and snap at each other, and then they just start hanging out with each other a little bit more. Then they start to get friendly and everything, and now the feelings start coming in. And during Jimmy and Chloe's wedding, you can start seeing those sparks come in, that they actually do have feelings for each other. But all that is being put on hold now because guess who comes back for a quick cameo? It's Lana Lang. I mean, granted, I do like Kristen Kruk, and I do like Lana Lang's character. But if you're going to bring back Lana Lang into the show, because she is a major part of the show, you don't have to immediately make her and Clark back in a relationship. They could just be friends. I mean, she's doing her own thing. She is going around the world trying to stop what Lex Luthor has been going through. Basically, everything that Lex Luthor ever did to her still scarred her mentally, and I can actually understand that. What they can keep that focused on her and just have her and Clark be friends at this point. I'm okay with that. But anyway, she finally says goodbye for the final time, which is very heartbreaking and everything, but they have said goodbye so many times that I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, sure, this is definitely the last time. Yeah, I'll see you in Superman 3 because this is definitely not the last time that you two see each other. So I didn't like the fact that they had to put the relationship between Clark and Lois on hold because we only have a couple of seasons left. Let's start, if you're going to focus on the relationships, focus on that a little bit more, and I want to see it build up. I want to see the famous Lois and Clark relationship that everyone has grown up with in the Superman comic books for over 90 years. So, what the heck? But also, this season brings in one villain, a villain that I really did not expect would actually show up in this season, and that is Doomsday. Doomsday is, well, he has two personalities. One, he is a ambulance driver, he is a doctor, he's trying to be a good person, but then he has another side, another personality that turns into the big gray bone-covered monster that we all know and love from the comic books. And when he finally shows his monstrous form on screen, he looks so stupid. I mean, it looks like a costume that a costume designer was trying a little bit too hard for. You can tell that the bones coming out of him are like rubber bones, and that it's all basically a mask and all such, and it just didn't really look that good. I mean, granted, it looks give the show credit. It looks a whole lot better than what Batman v Superman gave us. Seriously, what was that monstrosity from Batman v Superman? Why was Doomsday even in that movie? I'll never know. I mean, in that movie, it was like the writers of the movie were big fans of Lord of the Rings, and they took the cave troll out of that movie and just copied and pasted him in Batman v Superman. No CGI, no write-ins, no nothing. They just did that to save a bunch of money. Did it work? No, it did not. In this one, I mean, Doomsday does look kind of stupid, and I can kind of tell. And I can kind of tell at this point that they really did not have a budget to really make him look good, make him into the monster that we all know from the comic books. I can understand that, but still, if a popular show like Smallville was going on, you'd think that the studio would throw in an extra million just to make this villain look good. I mean, this is the villain that took out Superman. This was one of the most shocking moments in comic book history, was when Superman died. There was nothing much about Doomsday that anyone really knew about. All we really knew about him is that he's a very destructive character and that he destroys everything around him. He doesn't talk much, and all he does is basically kill, destroy, and tear things apart. That is basically the characteristics of Doomsday, and he defeated half the Justice League that with only leaving Superman left. And after being scratched up, torn up, and tossed around, Superman finally had to give it his all to finally take down Doomsday, which he did, but it also costed him his life. It was one of those moments where we realized that Superman is not just, a super person that nothing can destroy him besides green rocks. He does have vulnerable moments. He is a vulnerable person. And if someone had the power to go that far, they can actually take out Superman. That brings a major character point to Superman's character, and I really wish that this season would have focused on that, because that's really one of the greatest things about Doomsday. This is probably the very first time that Doomsday is ever being seen on either TV or even on the big screen. So why can't you put all of it out there? I don't get it. It's like, yeah, we want to put Doomsday in here, but our studio just cut the budget, so there's nothing much we can do. Here we go. We have this small thing that is running around. Seriously, Doomsday is very small in the show. When you look at Doomsday in the comic books, he's probably like 10 feet tall. He's a little bit bigger than Superman. And yeah, he looks like something that is a force to be reckoned with. This guy just looks like some high school kid in a costume that was made by his parents or something. That's just, yeah. Anyway, another thing that this show really focused on is this other storyline that focuses on Oliver Queen's point of view. Oliver Queen does something in this season that is a little bit major, and it's basically, spoiler alert, killing somebody. I mean, if you kill a very, very bad person, and you can definitely say that they will not be around anymore to cause any more evil shenanigans that could destroy the entire world. But in the end, does it really make you feel better that you took a life? Or does it make you a hero to finally decide who gets to live and who gets to die? That's one of the major points when it comes to a superhero, and I'm really glad that it is in a Superman storyline, because that's who Superman is. No matter how many times or how powerful or how dangerous certain characters are, Superman literally has the power to literally kill anybody he likes. He has the actual power to decide who lives and who dies, but he doesn't make that decision. He doesn't let villains live because he wants to. He does it because it's the right thing to do. That's the great thing about Superman, and I just wanted to see that in this season, and they showed literally both of it. They showed most of the hero side, but his vulnerability, they showed kind of it, but not really all of it. So that's all I got to say about Season 8. And Season 8 is definitely a whole lot better than Season 7, especially Seasons 3 and 4, for sure. So it's definitely up there, and it's definitely worth watching at least once, and it's definitely classic. So guys, Smallville Season 8. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Whatever you thought, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.